What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude, and today I want to give you a very quick but very important update about the Russian propaganda literally destroying my family. There are both bad and good news, and if you want to begin with the bad news, just keep watching this video as it is, or if you want to start with the good news instead, please use the time codes down below in the description to fast forward to this part. And so yes, let's begin with the bad one to get it straight out of the way. And so unfortunately some of my aunts, uncles and even cousins, which are more or less even my age, they still demonstrate an extreme hatred towards Ukraine and a very strong dislike, to say the least, towards me. At this point we completely have no communication at all, like absolutely nothing. We don't even text each other. Even though when I was a kid this was my favorite family outside of my actual parents. And just like this, without even talking to me, without even asking me any questions or anything like this, they just started being extremely passive-aggressive towards me, just because of the propaganda on TV. More than 20 years of our relations were completely obliterated. In less than 1 year, this was more than enough for them to turn me into a completely different person. And just once again, guys, they did not even directly talk with me personally about any of this stuff. Just like this. I went to study to America back in 2015 and I said bye to one family, just to visit Russia once again back in 2018, which was my, unfortunately, the last time visit to Russia. And I already said hi to a completely different people. They made up their minds solely based on the propaganda. The very same propaganda that tells that Ukrainians are eating human flesh of Russians in the cans. The very same propaganda that tells that the only key to the world peace is to nuke America and the Western Europe. The very same propaganda that tells that Russians invaded Ukraine to fight Ukrainians on the territory of Ukraine and save them from Ukrainians who are destroying Ukrainians on the territory of Ukraine. You see how ridiculous this sounds. So the next time you will see another episode of the ridiculous Russian propaganda and you're probably asking yourself, how is this even possible? Somebody believes in this. Well, as you can see, somebody does. And this does not happen immediately. No, this does not happen right away. It is only when you show this propaganda every single day of the week, of every single month, for many years straight, 24/7. This is exactly when the reality started to be shaped in a completely different version, which is conveniently the very same reality that the Big Brother wants you to see it. It is unfortunate, but I do not blame them. They are good people. It is just they were taken by this propaganda. And the more they see it nowadays, it is way more they're being convinced that this is the true meaning, the true way of living life. Just think about it. If you believe strongly in something, subconsciously you try to find these affirmations in your everyday life. For example, if you're told that Ukraine is bad, and then you're just walking down the street and then you see a car with some anti-Ukrainian stickers, you immediately think to yourself, that's right. So I'm not the only one who thinks this way. So, I mean, it's already at least 2 of us. TV is saying the same. So this must be true, eh? It even gets to the level of absurdity that just for wearing combinations of yellow and blue color in Russia can literally land you in jail. And what it does is that in those people who are already fallen into this propaganda black hole, it immediately, just seeing these 2 colors together, it immediately triggers inside them very negative emotions. And unfortunately, from my very own personal experience, no matter how ridiculous this propaganda may sound, it does work, and it does corrupt people which are the closest to me. But luckily, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, which is obviously a good news. Let's talk about this right now. Honestly, I do see some people also, including some of my friends and relatives, who start to at least a little bit warm up towards Ukraine, or at least feeling like neutral towards it. And most importantly, they start asking the questions against the regime of Putin. And finally, they started asking the right questions, the questions that they might not even have the answers for yet, the questions that matter the most, the questions that show that there is hope in no matter how hopeless the situation is. In my first video about Russian propaganda destroying my family, if you haven't seen it, please go ahead and do it so you have a better picture. I was talking about my very own babushka, who started hating her very own son, just because TV told her to do it. And so recently my babushka finally started once again talking with her son, with my uncle. And she does not see him as bad anymore. This anti-brainwashing started with my father completely shutting down all the federal and propagandistic TV channels in our house, so every single time babushka is visiting us, she cannot subconsciously find these affirmations to her new lifestyle. And slowly but surely it started working in the opposite direction, so now at least once per week she finally starts talking with my uncle on the phone. Every single weekend on the FaceTime she learned how to do it, which is also another incredible achievement. And most importantly, my uncle started to tell her the opposite side of the story, the side of the story that which she has not heard at all since the beginning of this war, so it is a very new perspective for her. Winter is coming right now, and a very big portion of the Ukrainian budget goes towards military and defense. That is why unfortunately the salaries for regular people are often being delayed. And my babushka did something unheard of, something what none of us could have imagined she would do several months ago, and she basically sent money to her uncle, to his family in Ukraine. I mean, it might sound like something normal. I mean, you would say, come on, Russian dude, like, families send money each other every single week, every single month. There's nothing special about it. Why did you even make a video about this? It's so simple. But here, it's not what is money that is important. Here, the most important part is that her entire mindset switched in the right direction, and she stopped seeing her son, her very own son and his family as bad people, as the enemy of Russia, and she finally started seeing them as her own relatives. Does not matter where they live, which they live in Ukraine, the worst country according to the Russian propaganda. It does not matter for her right now. She finally started seeing it as her own blood. I am also very glad to say that I do see some people also feeling a little bit more comfortable talking about Ukrainians as just regular people and not the enemies. Because first of all, yes, a lot of Russians, they do have families and friends in Ukraine. That is why you simply cannot abandon them because TV told you to do it. Because, I mean, this is just simple. It's like just 101 basic knowledge. Just because people live in another country, it does not automatically turn them into bad people, right? Well, that's not the case with the Russian propaganda. And finally, once again, with the biggest gladness, with the biggest hope in my heart, I'm saying that I do see the situation at least slowly changing the momentum. The common sense returns. And guys, it was extremely nice for me to get so personal with you over this last couple of weeks. Hopefully right now we have a little bit closer relations and you do not see me as this just random guy on YouTube who is making these daily news updates about the Russian-Ukrainian war. Please let me know in the comments if you did enjoy this mini series of these special episodes, and if you're here just for these daily news updates, don't worry, they are coming back next Tuesday. Please subscribe to my channel if you do not want to miss any of these future episodes. Consider checking my Patreon for some extra material and just general support for the channel, and see you on Tuesday.